Hey guys, I'm Nick May from The Business Brush. Today we're going to be talking about what is marketing. Stay tuned. So what is marketing? Now, I will tell you, it's more than you probably think. But my definition of what is marketing is anything that we do that communicates value proposition. Whatever brings up or reduces value proposition. And that's the key thing that you have to understand. So you can either do things that elevate that value proposition, which means you can garner more money, or it's going to detract, and so then you're going to stay down in those lower echelons of competing on price. And who wants to do that, right? So there's two different aspects of marketing. We want to talk about active marketing and passive marketing. And active marketing is typically what most people think of when they think of advertising their company. And most guys that I talk to over the years will always tell me that they don't do much marketing at all or advertising, that they just rely on word of mouth. Well, that's great, but I think of word of mouth as kind of the icing on the cake. Now, active marketing is anything that we do to really get the phone to ring or get more opportunities so that we can sell. So those are things like a Google ad or a print ad or door flyers, or even it can be when you're going to a networking event to meet other people that could potentially bring you business. So those are things that we actively do to make the phone ring. Now, passive marketing are things that we don't necessarily consider or think of when we think of marketing. So these are any kind of touch points that we have with our customers that really elevate or detract from their user experience, if you will. So one really great example of this is, how do you show up when you go and do a bid? Do you show up like this, or do you show up like this? So if you show up in the sweatshirt, then it's going to lower your perceived value. But if you show up in a logoed shirt, very professional, it elevates that perceived value by the customer. Maybe you're only able to get an additional 5 or 10% higher, but over the course of a year, that can really add up just for buying a $30 logoed shirt, right? So other ways that we communicate value proposition and don't really think about it every day is our phones. How do you answer or how do you not answer your phone? Now, most paint contractors don't necessarily answer their phones. They have their main business line on their hip, on their cell phone, and they answer it when they're available. Now, if you're a customer, if you're anything like me, when you call a company and they don't answer their phone, what do? Well, I go on to the next. I just keep going down the list. Go to the next listing on Google or whatever I have as far as a list for whatever service I'm looking for. So if you are not answering your phones, you are missing out on a huge potential. And how your phones are answered is another huge way that either elevates or detracts. So if it's you and you're super busy, the customer can pick up on that. But if you're anything like me and Walls by Design, we answer the phone each and every time, and we have 100% focus on our customers. And that really communicates that we are putting the customer first, and it elevates that value proposition. Other ways that we communicate value proposition in our passive marketing is, what does your truck look like? Or your car? Is it logoed? Is it not logoed? How do your guys show up? Do you buy t-shirts that are professional? Do they show up in whites? Or are they just in whatever pair of pants that they had in their drawer that day? So all of these things really can affect the user experience of your service. So in my next video, I'm going to dive into the 4 things that every paint contractor does but does wrong with their marketing. Hey, thanks for joining me today. Would you do me a favor? Would you please comment below? Would you subscribe to the channel? And would you please share this on Instagram and on Facebook? And if you want to grow your painting business, you can also check us out on our podcast, The Business Brush. You can find that on iTunes, Stitcher, or anywhere that podcasts can be downloaded. I'm Nick May. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.